Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers gave his 7th State of the State address earlier tonight at the state capitol. Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Cameron Kelly.
And I'm Mark McPherson. He's calling 2025 the Year of the Kid, highlighting multiple programs he says will help kids stay safe and healthy this year. We have team coverage outside the Capitol building with WMTV's Tabitha Bland and our State Capitol Bureau Chief Vanessa Kelson.
And we want to get straight to Vanessa, who has immediate takeaways from his speech. Vanessa.
Ahead of a budget battle, Governor Tony Evers is focusing on the future generations of Wisconsin, outlining his priorities to help support kids both in and out of the classroom.
The Honorable Tony Evers.
Governor Evers delivering his 7th State of the State address Wednesday night at the state capitol.
If we want to improve our kids' outcomes, then we have to shorten the odds.
Announcing his state budget proposal to end school meal debt and bring the cost of childcare down.
This is as much about doing what's best for our kids as it's doing what's best for parents in our workforce.
In the aftermath of the fatal Abundant Life Christian School shooting in Madison, Governor Evers is also prioritizing student safety and violence prevention.
We do not have to choose between respecting the Second Amendment or keeping kids, schools, and streets and communities safe.
Proposing background checks and red flag laws, both of which the legislature has previously rejected.
We should be able to get this common sense stuff done with bipartisan support, folks.
This speech comes just 2 days after Republican President Donald Trump was inaugurated in D.C. Tonight, Governor Evers dedicated part of his speech to the immigrants of Wisconsin, saying he's willing to work with anyone, but calling the current system unworkable. Live from the state capitol, Vanessa Kelson.
Thanks, Vanessa. Governor Evers also talked about suicide and mental health. In 2022, Wisconsin reported over 930 deaths by suicide. And tonight, his budget proposal will include money to help kids who need it.
Tonight, I'm announcing my budget proposal will invest nearly $300 million to provide comprehensive mental health services in schools statewide, including support for peer-to-peer suicide prevention programs and expanded mental health training.
He added, if you know someone is struggling, you can call or text 988 or visit 988lifeline.org.
And State Superintendent Jill Underly is applauding Evers' message on mental health. In a statement, Dr. Underly calls her proposal straightforward and necessary and says too many kids are facing severe mental health challenges. Our team coverage continues now with reaction from Republicans tonight. WMTV's Tabitha Bland joins us live with more on what Speaker Robin Vos had to say. Tabitha.
Mark, Speaker Vos says that tonight's speech was just full of what he calls empty promises. He says that the thing that disappoints him the most is the governor's refusal to cooperate with undocumented immigrants being deported who commit crimes. He says that the 3 main focuses coming out of tonight are higher educational standards with any increase in school fundings, making sure that undocumented immigrants who commit crimes are deported, and not spending the budget surplus to grow the government, but instead returning that money to the people as tax relief with almost $1,000 per person. In terms of the address tonight, here are his thoughts.
What I think we heard here was a bunch of empty promises that will not be able to be delivered without either massive tax increases or massive spending cuts. And I don't think that we're never going to approve massive tax increases. And I don't think he's going to support massive spending reductions.
Vos says that he will be introducing new legislation regarding deportation next week. And when pressed on what exactly that means, he says that it will require that everyone has to follow the law and cooperate with ICE. In the state capitol, Tabitha Bland, WMTV 15 News.
Thank you, Tabitha. Also, during Governor Evers' speech tonight, he talked about his plans to help lower everyday out-of-pocket costs for Wisconsinites and working families.
Through my Less for RX plan, I will again ask Republicans and Democrats to work together to approve new state programs aimed at setting price ceilings for prescriptions and improving oversight of drug companies to make sure Wisconsinites are getting a fair shake.
Evers also says he plans on removing the sales tax on over-the-counter medications and capping the cost of insulin copays at $35.
Representative Lisa Subeck says she was excited to see the governor's continued efforts to bring down prescription drug prices. She released a statement saying, quote, "He has always been a great partner in our Less for RX initiative, which will cut the cost of life-saving drugs like insulin and EpiPens," end quote. Now, if you'd like to see the full State of the State address from Governor Tony Evers, you can head to our website, WMTV15news.com.